Hi, Sam Toper, Sound of Joy Music Services, and this is an impromptu um, video I'm doing right now. There is no song that has been requested, um, but I am looking at the comments still, and I do appreciate when I get questions about how or what steps should one take to get to the level of music, not necessarily where I am, but to the best of that person or whoever that may be. And I just want to be able to share some of the things that was my and still my main motivating driver to continue to practice. I can see my camera still is asking me to replace it this year, but I always had that desire from a youngster to be able to go sit to a piano, and if I hear something, for me it was cartoons or theme music to shows that came on television, and I wanted to be able to sit and play it. So it was nothing for me to hear something and try to keep that remembrance of what that sound was in my head. So a lot that you see me do now is everything that I have heard. Because unlike some of you, the more professional players that actually sat down with a teacher that opened up a piano book in front of them, I didn't have that. So I only had the finished product, which would be whatever I could hear played. And I'll give you an example of that. When I was a youngster, I used to like to listen to the theme from the Roadrunner. Okay, in the key of CC. And that may not be the key that it was in, because I'd have to go back and actually pull up, uh, I guess, one of those shows that actually has it playing. But I always wanted to sit and play that. There was the Batman theme. Hmm. Not knowing that that's all it was, but I could hear it in my head, and I wanted to be able to play it. The other one was the Pink Panther. Hmm. Or so those tunes would stay in my head and not with anyone to show me how are you finding those chords. So now that I've practiced so many different chords, I find that those very same chords that I learned as a youngster watching television shows and wanting to be able to sit to the piano and just play that, I find that, wow, those chords have always been there, but they have names. That gospel chord. Now that I have practiced those chords from different songs, I can now hear that. Mm, dun, dun. Maybe not exactly the way it's written, but those same chords Richard Smallwood uses in his Angels Watching Over Me. because those chords were ingrained in my memory in that particular song, the minute I heard that song being played, I went, wait a minute. Okay, I know that change. Now that I'm learning, what do you do there? Minor or major, depending upon which direction that I've practiced in, to hear that how many notes are around major, minor, diminish, minor 6. Those same chords become relative, and then I can't forget those chords. Even if I change a key, I will know what that chord should sound like in a different key. Okay, now I gotta work this out. There it is. That's what I was trying to hear. That minor 6. Changing key, but it is the concept of just. I think I wrote it in the response to that question. How much? What do I need to do to get better? The first is to absorb. That is, you're going to become a listener. You're going to have to hear the music before you can envision yourself. There it is, playing it. I have to be able to hear before I can play it. Now that's just thrown off the cuff. But if it was a song that I wanted to do in a different key, nope. Okay. A different key, but I know it's an F. That change or here. Down to the F. Just making it up as I go. But once I have discovered the path, which is what I call practice, and you find the notes that are not being used, which is what I do mainly. I hear all the notes around any particular melody or chord, and then I select the notes, and I deselect the notes I don't hear. So if I hear this chord from this range, where's the highest note? Where's the lowest note? And these are all the notes that are in between that. What notes don't I hear? And I, through the act of hearing, which is what they call pitch, relative pitch. The notes that I do hear, those are the ones that I play. And if I want to go up a half a step, I gotta still hear those notes, go up a half a step. I gotta still hear up those notes, go up a half a step. And this is what I would practice as a youngster, just so I can continue to hear those notes in any key I want to go to. Half a step, half a step, half a step, half a step, go up half a step, half a step. Have I gone call them all yet? Half a step more. This is a harder one. There we go. Next one up. And now I'm back there. So now I've heard all of those notes in every key. Now, what song would I use them in? Whatever song that I'm actually playing. I went over an old video of me playing one of my first YouTube videos. I played "Oh Give Thanks Unto the Lord," and I started it in B flat. And as I watched the video, I was watching how I was jumping around the melody, jumping around the chords, and playing scales in between it, which is kind of what the concept that that I practice and that I teach. I've got to be able to hear all the notes that I could possibly pick. In B flat. So now that I've recognized that those are the notes that I do hear, the ones that I don't hear, they are what you call occidental to me. For those who know the correct term, you can help me. But I can hear. Now I'm throwing them in. Now I can go, stay within the context of the melody, but now go to the other chords. Changing to jazz. Is it? Okay. So I can hear what I want to be doing, not just on the right hand, but on the left hand. Diminish, major, minor, 7. I'm just thinking out loud. Whatever this one is called, B major 7, C7, tritone F, keep the tritone. How much music have I absorbed? I guess from the time I could hear music as a youngster from watching television, so we're going back to the age of 8, where I absorbed music and began to, when I was allowed to touch a piano, sit there and try to find what did that note sound like? Not the chords. What did that note sound like? What did the highest note, which would be the melody? Gigantor. I'm trying to think. Did I do the Looney Tunes? think that was Looney Tunes. Of course, there was Popeye. And I began to make that an actual practice for myself once I learned the correct movement of fingers. Just from a natural practice thing. So it's the absorption of music. Now, was I playing gospel music in my younger days? No. Was I listening to it as my father played it? Yes. And most times he sounded like the way he played, not like the album. So because I had the album to listen to, I would hear the changes, but I could not go to the piano and figure out how to form my fingers to play those chords I could hear. Like very rarely would he do this chord. He just stayed around here. Guide me, O Thou great Jehovah. He would. That was a an actual a procession song that the senior choir would sing. So when I got the opportunity to replace him after my brother as the next in line as the church musician, when I heard the song "Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah," and with the background of hearing so much music as a youngster in my jazz band, I could hear, gee. I can hear all the moving around it. And those are all the changes I would hear. So that's what I would practice. Turn around. Feed me till I want no more. Drop it down. Feed. So I played the melody, of course, at the top, but I shied away from the traditional, just play it. I heard differently. Diminution there. And this I got from the 1812 Overture. So I learned to do this from the 1812 Overture. Which you don't hear a lot because today's music has morphed or adapted a different style of the major, the minor, the 4 with the 6, the 1, the 6, the 4, the 5, and the 6. Even in that, if I'm playing a song that has those progressions, I'm finding another way to adapt to it. Let me see. Give myself away. Give myself away to So a song like I Give Myself Away, yes, I know the chords are there, but then I'm again looking at it from my ear standpoint. changing the chords. Life is there it is from the bass. So just as I can hear a different approach, a different chord, which is not too far from the original, that's what I try to do, to bring in different styles of music that I've heard over through the years. The Richard Smallwood songs really educated me to a more classical piano sound. So any of his songs that I learned it exactly the way he played it on the album because I wanted to feel from an actual technical standpoint how he can land on certain notes at certain parts of the song. Let me see. I forgot what that song. He Will Make a Way. Oh, the other one was Glory There it is. So all of those type of songs began to now educate me through the professions of other musicians and their pieces of music. What more can I add to my big band sound, which I love? I guess if I had a saxophone section, let me just pull up saxophones on my voicing because I was as a jazz musician. I came up with in the brass section. So when you're in the brass section, you get to hear all the different instruments. I want to pull up one that's got all the brass instruments. Let's see, trumpet section. That's a brass section, small brass section. So I have a big brass background in hearing all that music that would fill an area. But the piano gives me an actual quiet space where I can now just fill in all that gap. I have to hear all this in my head first. I have to hear it in my head and and change key and change, and this A, D, G, C, F, B flat, back to E flat, A flat, C, G flat, B, circle of fourths, E, A, D, G, C, F, B flat, E flat. There we go. A flat, D flat. So all of these changes I had uh, to add to my thought process. What can I hear? When I learned the cycle of fourths, this is the first way I learned it. But it got boring because I had to stretch from one part of the keyboard to the other. I said to myself, I wanted to be able to shorten it. So I said, well, gee, it's just notes C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, C, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and back to C's. And I stayed all in this one area without having to go way up here. Yes, I could go. And now I'm stretching all the way out there. But to keep it all centered here, I can still hear the changes. If I want to go to the 4, go to the B flat, and go to the E, right? No, B flat to the never mind. G flat to the B, to the E, to the A, to the D, to the G, to the C, to the F, B flat, E flat, F, B flat, E flat, down to the A flat. So it all became, how can I get to a particular point in music using everything that I've learned over the years? This is a long one, but I'm finding that I need to give a little more detail to this magic, which is called music. It doesn't just happen. It's like having a cup. If your cup can only fill the size of a cup, then that's all you're going to get out of it. But the minute you change to a jar, now you can put more in that jar. That jar, you're going to turn it to a pail, and you're going to put more in that pail. The pail, you're going to turn it to a huge bucket, and then you're the one who decides how much you want to fill musically in that bucket. My bucket is over 50 years old, and I still don't know a smidgen of anything. I'm learning the language of jazz from instructors who are on YouTube that are showing me techniques to songs like, oh, so that's how you do that. I fake it, yes, but to see someone actually slow down and this is how, and then explain why it was used there. Most of what I play, I can't explain. I can just tell you it's a path to get you from point A to point B to point C. And now that you're at point C, how do you get back to A? That's how I look at music. Where is it going? It wants to go to the F. I'm doing the Globetrotter song. Where are they going? B flat. There's cycle of 4. E flat. Down to the D, G. Now, I've never played that song before, but because I know the melody of it and I heard it played the Globetrotter song as a youngster, now I see the path. flat, E flat. And all it is that notes are relative. Since when I get the E flat has G. Well, who else uses G? C. So I can come from there and drop down to a jazz chord. That may not be the exact notes, but to a untrained ear, they'll go, "Oh, I know that theme, Globetrotters." And I'm able to jump around and to apply it. I hope I've said something that in this long video, YouTube has been asking us content creators to create longer videos now. So I always try to give something that is tangible, something that will give you that moment of aha. That's what he's trying to show me. I looked at one of my earlier videos where I was doing why I practice scales the way that I do. And even every time I watched that video, I'm amazed how I played every note from. I can't even do it now. I didn't think of on an acoustic piano. And every time I look at that video, I go, "Oh, wow, yeah, I practiced that for a reason, so that I can pull it out anytime I want to, and be able to fly at the speed of thought to any key that I want to." Please like and subscribe to this video and the other ones that I have. Everyone has been doing a great job. My views are up 136%, so I appreciate those who have been coming in new from all the shorts. If you're wondering why I am producing so many short videos, even going into my archive of videos and cutting out segments to make 60-second shorts, that's bringing in new viewers. And when I bring in new viewers, I'm able to share this love of music that I have with them, and hopefully find within that group a budding musician who wants to also let the music in them out. Sam Tobit, Sound of Joy Music Services. Again, like, subscribe, and comment. And we are out, and I'll see you back on the next one. Take care. Bye.